No, I can't give you no darn paper. What you need some paper for?
I just wanted to write.
No, why you can't just sit down and pay attention? What you gonna write? What I'm talking about? All right then, sit down and pay attention. Who we missing? Ain't we missing somebody other than TJ? No, Andre ain't gotta come here. Go get Andre, bud. Make him come here. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is YAHUAH. In him lies the... Oh, man, I messed up. What is it?
Only hope for salvation.
In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. Right? In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. So listen, y'all got the balls, right? If y'all start going too crazy with the balls,
We're going to have to put them back.
pretty much. I like to give people chances. I like to give people enough rope. You know what I'm saying? To have a little bit of freedom. But what you got to do with freedom is you got to do the right thing. Otherwise, you find out that you were never really free. You was trapped. All right? Think about that in all your life decisions. All right. What we talked about last week? Who remember? Because I don't really remember.
We finished Deuteronomy 14, 15,
17.
16, and 17.
I know we finished off 17. I remember that much because I remember we said we going to start off with 18. All right? But what did we talk about last week? We covered a lot of ground. You know what I'm saying? What did we cover?
So we covered the feast.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the feast.
Passover.
I remember that we were talking about food that we can't eat.
That's right. Talked a little bit about food. We talked a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, the food that, you know what I'm saying. So there was a time in Leviticus, y'all told us that, you know what I'm saying, no, you can't eat. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat any of these types of animals unless you bring them to the tabernacle to be sacrificed. He said, don't even kill an animal, because if you kill it, it'll be like killing a man, and you'll be cut off from your people, right? Then he came back and told us now in Deuteronomy last week that you could actually kill these animals because we had a far distance to go. You didn't have to bring them all the way to the tabernacle. You could actually kill these animals and eat them, but don't sacrifice them unless you bring them to the temple or to the tabernacle. So that was a change for us. That was a change from what we were doing in the wilderness to what's going to be happening when we go into the land, right? So it was many things that we looked at last week. Let's go ahead and pick up from Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 1. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 1. Let's see what the book says.
The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part or inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brothers. The Lord is their inheritance, as he hath said unto them. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep. And they shall give unto the priest the shoulder, and the two cheeks, and the maw, the first fruit also of your corn, of your wine, of your oil, and the first of the fleece of your sheep shall you give him. For the Lord thy God hath chosen him out of all your tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever.
All right, talking about the priests, the sons of Aaron. Keep going.
And if a Levite come from any of your gates out of all Israel where he sojourned, and come with all the desire in his mind unto the place which the Lord shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, and all his brethren, the Levites, do which stand there before the Lord. They shall have like portions to eat, beside that which comes of the sale of his patrimony. When you are come into the land which the Lord your God has given you, you shall not learn to do after the abomination of those nations.
Right? So pay attention. He said, when you come into the land, he said, you are not going to learn what they do and after their abomination. So the stuff that they do, he said, don't you learn how to pick up their stuff. The stuff that they do that's abominable, that's an abomination. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
There shall not be found among you anyone that makes his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
So look what he told them to do. When we read last week about eating swine and eating camel and eating a horse, all that stuff, we learned that that was what to us? Unclean. What else did we learn it was?
An abomination to you.
He said this was an abomination to you, right? So now look, he's talking about abomination. Now he said, don't you learn their abomination. Then he go on to give us some examples of their abominations. Watch what he named. Let's see if he named pork.
There shall not be found any among you, anyone that makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire. Or that uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter.
Right? So he said, don't let your son or your daughter pass through the fire. That's an abomination. These are the abominations that he's naming. Right? He said, or somebody who used divination. That's magic. Right? Trying to do magic. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there, you know what I'm saying? Reading a little book. Okay, well, let me just say hocus pocus alakazam. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. He said, don't be doing that. So that's the foolishness, right? That's magic, right? Then he said, or an observer of times. Who knows what an observer of times is? Who got a phone?
Fortune teller, future.
You got a phone? Pull out your phone for me real quick.
I used to, but I lost it.
Ain't nobody asked you who lost the phone. I asked you who got the phone. Goodness gracious. What's wrong with him, Max? Goodness gracious. All right, so Mel gonna pull out the phone. Mel gonna go to Google for me. And you know what Mel gonna type in for me? Horoscope. Horoscope. Spell it for us, son. I don't know what you talking about, son. You messed up a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Who got horoscope? Who can spell it for it? TJ, spell it for it. Horoscope.
Horoscope or horoscope?
You already out.
Which one did you say?
Horoscope.
Horoscope.
Horror.
I think it's horo, right? It's HOROSCOPE, right?
Oh.
I think that's right. And then I want you to pull up Wikipedia.
No.
Y'all can't be spelling it how I say it. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where I'm from when I talk. And then Wikipedia, I want you to read Wikipedia for me. Right there it say horoscope. I'm gonna read it. Bring it in, let me see. TJ, read it for me, TJ.
Horoscope or other commonly used names for the horoscope in English include natal chart, astrological chart, astro chart, celestial map, sky map, star chart, cosmogram, Vitasphere,
They got all types of names for this thing. Let me see.
radical.
Let me see here. Horoscope coming. This ain't the one I want. What is this? All right, here we go. I want you to read right here. Start right here for me, TJ. You see that? It's a. Start where it say, the word horoscope is derived from. It's in the middle of the paragraph.
Word horoscope is derived from the.
All right, now hold on. Stop. Now I want you to see, you know what I'm saying? Tell me what the law is telling us is an abomination right now. Let's look.
You shall not be found among you anyone that makes his or her son or daughter to pass through the fire.
Sit your butt down, boy. He said, don't make anybody pass through the fire.
Or to use divination.
Or to use magic.
Or an observer of time.
Or an observer of times. Now read that for me, TJ.
The word horoscope is derived from the Greek words hora and scoops.
Right? So he says derived from the Greek word hora and scupo, right? Or scupe, something like that, right? Then go ahead.
Meaning time and observer.
It's meaning what?
Time and observer.
I don't know if y'all hear, but he said it means time and observer in the Greek. That's what that means, time and observer. So every time you reading your horoscope and you playing around with that horoscope, who walk around and be the first question they ask, they say, are you a Pisces? Are you a Scorpio? You a darn, what they call them, Aquarius? Right? You go through all those things, be like, yeah, nah, I can't. You hear? I can't deal with no Libra. You know what I'm saying? If a Libra, oh, them Libras, they switch up on you all the time. That's tough type of stuff. You know what people are doing when they do that? They being observers of time, because that's what a horoscope means. Horoscope mean observer of time, and that's where all that stuff come from. And all the zodiac sign and all that, that's horoscope, right? So all that is observer of time. The book say that's an abomination, right? He told us, don't you go into that land and learn what these people do and learn their abominations. Let me tell you about some of their abominations. They let their kids pass through the darn fire, right? They do darn magic, and they observers of time. They out there keeping their darn horoscopes, right? Keep going, watch this.
Or an enchanter.
Uh-huh.
Or a witch.
Or a witch, all this stuff magic. He said, all this stuff, don't you do all these abominations. Guess what he never named, though? He never talked to them about, or they eat pork. The only reason I call that out because y'all have to understand the more weightier matters of the law. Right? It's law that we aren't to eat pork. That's law. Don't let nobody tell you it's not law. That is our law. But understand that the reason why people are judged, the reason why Yah is judging nations is not because they ate pork. You can't find in the book that he judged a nation simply because they eating pork. Every time he decides to judge a nation, you know what he gonna tell him he judged them for? These abominations. Not the abominations that he said are abominations to us. He talking about abominations to the whole world. Everybody got to play by these rules, no matter what nation you from. Remember, we talked about it last week that if something dies of itself, who can eat that?
The stranger.
The stranger that is an Israelite. The stranger that's within our gates, that keeps our law, he can eat something that died of itself. But an Israelite cannot eat that. That's against our law. Right? That's a part of these Hebrew Israelites. They all talking to you about a dietary law, right? Oh, that's the dietary law. No, you got to keep the diet. First of all, there's no such thing as a dietary law. There's the one law that the Most High God gave us. And they don't know this one law, because if they did know this one law, they would see that that's a part of the law. The law will tell you that a stranger can eat something that died of itself. An Israelite cannot. Right? So if the dietary law applies in such a way, how can he make that separation? Let's keep going.
Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
For all that do these things are an abomination unto the YAHUAH.
Right? Everybody who does these things are an abomination to YAHUAH. What is the difference between what we just read and what we read? Go back to the dietary. What is it? 13 or 14? 14, you gotta be 14.
14.
What we got right here, let's go. He said, all that do these things are an abomination. Most?
No.
Some?
No. All that do these things are an abomination unto YAHUAH.
That's book. All that do them are an abomination to YAHUAH. Now watch what we get in when we talk about the diet. The quote unquote dietary law. That day, baby.
And the swine, because it divides the hoof, yet choose not the cud, it is unclean unto you.
It is unclean unto who?
Unto you.
It is unclean unto all.
Unto you.
Anybody who eat this is unclean.
Unto you.
All that eat this is unclean.
It is unclean unto you.
He said, no, specifically unto you it's unclean.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their carcass.
Uh-huh.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, that have fins and scales, ye shall eat. And whatsoever has not fins and scales, ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you.
He said, it is unclean unto you. You see the difference between our law saying this is unclean unto you. Then if we go back to Deuteronomy chapter 18, it's not going to have that same type of language. He said, don't go over there and learn this stuff from them, because this is an abomination to all. It's very different. Where Tasha?
I can hold it.
You want to go to mail? You want to go to mail? What we got?
For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahuwah, and because of these abominations, the Lord God does drive them out from before thee.
Right? So it's because of these things that the people are being judged. They're not being judged for what they eat. They're being judged for what comes out of them. Right? The sin that comes out of them, the sin that's produced, not from what they put in their body. Is the reason why this is important, because we have to understand that the law is carnal. Right? The law that we were given by Moses is carnal. What we've been reading tells us how to take care of our physical body, right? Now, there are portions of that law that are spiritual. The law at the same time is spiritual, right? So the spiritual law teaches us how to take care of our carnal body. Therefore, the law is carnal. But there are spiritual components of it. The spiritual pieces is what he's talking about right now. He's saying these are the activities that condemn your spirit. Therefore, because it condemns not just your physical body, it don't matter whether you're an Israelite or not an Israelite. Since it condemns your spirit, right? It goes for anybody. And nobody who does it, this is something that condemns your spirit. Therefore, everybody has to be accountable to it. No matter where you're from, no matter where you're born, no matter who your mom and daddy is, you got to adhere to this part of the law, right? So this is the stuff that everybody got to get judged by, even if they've never heard the law, right? I may not know what the law is. This is a principle that they're going to cause you to be judged, even if you never heard it, right? Keep going. Watch this.
You shall be perfect with Yahuwah your God.
Uh-huh.
For these nations which you shall possess hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners.
Uh-huh.
But as for you, the Lord your God has not suffered you to do so.
Uh-huh.
The Lord your God will raise up unto you a prophet from the midst of thee.
He said Yahuwah, your God, will raise up to you a prophet from the midst of thee. Watch this. This is law, right? Understand that this is law. This is instruction from the Most High God, who's telling us what we should do. He said he's going to raise up a prophet from the midst of our people.
Of thy brethren, like unto me.
It's going to be just like Moses. Watch this.
Unto him you shall hearken.
He said, and when that prophet get here, that's who you're supposed to listen to. So what does that become at that moment?
Law.
That's a commandment.
Yeah.
You can't go, look, there's no way. It's impossible to say, hey, I keep the law if you're not keeping that commandment. Moses is telling you, when he show up, he's the one that you listen to. He said he's going to be just like me. And when he shows up, he's the one that you listen to. Watch this.
According to all that you desired of the Lord thy God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see his great fire anymore, that I die not.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken, that which they have spoken.
Uh-huh.
I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto you.
Uh-huh.
I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not listen unto the heart, to the words.
He said, and it's going to come to pass. Moses already told you, when he show up on the scene, that's who you're going to listen to. Right? Listen to him. Sit your butt down, DJ. Right? Sit down. Right? He said, that's who you're going to listen to. When he show up, that's who you're going to listen to. Then he going to say, and if you will not listen to him, what's going to happen?
The words which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
That got that. So now he's letting you know that it is a requirement for you to listen to this prophet that's raised up of the brethren like unto Moses. The same way Moses is the same way he gonna come, and it's gonna be a requirement for you to listen to him. And that is instruction and that's law from Moses. So now how can you keep the law if the man come on the scene and you don't listen to him? The prophet that he's talking about is YAHUAH. Right? And we can prove that out through the gospel. If you can't prove out that the prophet came, then you're not keeping the law. You're not keeping the law. You're not adhering to the scriptures. This is where these people mess up. They looking like, nah, man. So look, listen, bro, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you. See, the new covenant is just the old covenant, you know what I'm saying, renewed. Now, what sense that make if the man said if you don't listen to him, it's going to be required of you? He would just say, hey, if you don't listen to us, because we saying the same thing. He telling you that the man is going to come and say something different. And that's exactly what YAHUAH did. Don't let these Hebrews confuse y'all, make it feel like, oh, this is just a renewed covenant. It's not a darn renewed covenant. You don't even know the law if you think it's renewed. That's why these people struggle with Paul.
The law ain't say nothing about eternal damnation and eternal life.
Nah. The law ain't say nothing about none of that. Right? Matter of fact, the scriptures tell you very clearly. Oh, we got grab Jeremiah 31 real quick just so they can hear it for themselves. A lot of these people be looking at me, you know what I'm saying? I know they be thinking like, man, that boy just making up stuff. You know what I'm saying? Making up stuff. What seminary school he go to? Not a lot of these people problem. They going to these seminary schools. It's up, dumb our people down. They teach you how to run a church, right? That's all they do. They teach you how to run a church. They teach you how to collect tithes. They teach you, you know what I'm saying, the way that, you know what I'm saying, you make your members comfortable. I don't want to make nobody comfortable, man. If the word don't make you comfortable, I ain't trying to make you comfortable.
Behold, the days come, says YAHUAH, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Mm-hmm. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
So now he said he gonna make a new covenant. A good Hebrew gonna tell you that, see, brother, the white man translated it as new, but really the Hebrew word is such and such, and it's really should be translated as renewed covenant. Okay, let's take it. Let's translate it from the New Standardized Hebrew Israelite version, right? Read it, but let's read it with renewed.
The days come, says the Lord, I will make a renewed covenant with.
Look, he said a renewed covenant. Watch this.
With the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Okay, so this the same covenant, just done again, right? Let's see what he say next.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
I don't care how you translate it. The man gonna tell you right after. That's what I love about this word. No matter how you try to twist and turn it, the man already clear himself. He anticipate the way y'all gonna try to twist his word. How you retranslate it to renew, and the man still after it, he tell you, not according to the covenant that I made with your fathers in Horeb. So in other words, it's a different covenant. And y'all still sit around here talking about renew, no, the law, you know what I'm saying, the law. All because y'all trying to argue with Christians talking about the law is not done away with. Why are you even wasting your time making that argument? We know the law ain't done away with. That's not, you don't need to invalidate the word just to say the word. We know the law ain't done away with. The word say the law ain't done away with. And guess what? It's still a new covenant with new principles and new commandments. And the law still ain't done away with.
There's plenty you can get at the Christians on. You ain't gotta go there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna compromise y'all's word? I'm gonna mess up my understanding just to prove a Christian wrong. I'm gonna make God wrong along with making a Christian wrong. That's crazy to me. Christian gonna be wrong on their darn own. What you gonna help? Why you gonna make yourself wrong just to make them wrong? That's crazy. That don't make no sense. Let's go back. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18. What verse?
Verse 20.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 20. I love this. It's talking about YAHUAH, y'all. I love this. Let's go.
But the prophet
Why
which
don't y'all
shall
put these
presume,
cards down? What's wrong with y'all?
But the
Sit
prophet,
down.
But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord has not spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of YAHUAH, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord has not spoken.
Right? He said, if the prophet speaks in the name of YAHUAH, and whatever that prophet say don't happen, he said, that's how you know there ain't no prophet of YAHUAH. Right? But watch this.
But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously.
Max,
You
go in there
shall
and tell them
not
boys
be
to be
afraid
quiet.
of him. Next chapter.
Give me 19 then. Let me see. Sit your butt down. Put the cards down and don't get up no more.
When the Lord thy God has cut off the nations whose land the Lord thy God gives thee, and you succeed them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, you shall separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of thy land, which the Lord thy God gives thee to possess it. You shall prepare thee a way and divide the coasts of thy land, which the Lord thy God gives thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee there. And this is the case of the slayer which shall flee there, that he may live. Whosoever kills his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past. And when a man goes into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetches in a stroke with the axe to cut down a tree, and the head slips from the helve and lights upon his neighbor.
Right? So he's saying somebody in the woods and they chopping down the tree. You know, you chop down the tree, you got an axe, and you chop down the tree. And you ever seen the axe where they got a wood stick and they got the metal piece that's sharp on the end, and they got the wood popping out the other end, and you just swinging that thing and you working that darn tree. You whack it, and whacking, you working the darn tree, and you got it. And then somebody walk by. They like, boy, you working that tree, ain't you? You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, you know I am. Then you really, you know, somebody watching you, you really start doing a good job. You like, yeah, buddy, whack it. And you hit it that last time, but the metal piece fly off and it bounce off of the tree and then go and then slam and hit the man in the darn head and kill him. And then the man darn fall out. Watch it. Ain't that what he describing? Let me see. Let's see. Let's make sure that's what he describing.
And fetches a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slips from the helve and lighted upon his neighbor that he die, he shall flee unto one of those cities and live.
Right? So what the Most High God is saying, if you chopping down this tree and that thing fly off and hit him, is that your fault? I mean, yeah, it is. But did you do it on purpose? Was you trying to kill somebody that day? No. It's your fault, right? Because it happened because of something you were doing, but it was an accident. It's not necessarily something that you knew to anticipate. It's not something necessarily that you were planning for it to happen, right? So boom, it happened. Thing falls off. It hits somebody in the head. It kills them. He's saying, listen, I got a city that you can go to and you can flee. The word is flee. What that means is you can run away, right? I got a city that you can run away to. Because what's going to happen when that man's brother or that man's dad sees that he died and it was your axe that killed him? They gonna want to kill your butt. So he's saying, listen, you go over here to this city, we'll protect you as long as you're in one of these cities. And you gotta kill, let's see. Keep reading.
He shall flee to one of those cities and live. Unless the avenger of blood pursue the slayer while his heart is hot and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him. Whereas he was not worthy of death, insomuch as he had hated him not in time past. Wherefore I command thee, saying, you shall separate 3 cities for you. And if the Lord thy God enlarge your coast, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers, if thou shalt keep all these commandments to do them, which I command you this day, to love the Lord thy God, and to walk forever in his ways, then shall you add 3 cities more for thee besides these 3, that innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Lord thy God gives thee for an inheritance, and so blood be upon thee. But if any man hate his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally that he die, and flee into one of these cities, then the elders of the city shall send and fetch him from there, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. Your eye shall not pity him, but you shall put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which
Right.
thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God gives thee to possess it.
Right? So now we have a law that tells us we can't remove a landmark. Why would we need a landmark?
A reminder, most of the landmarks that were set in times past was really a remembrance of all the good things God did for us. Always brought us back to the commandment.
So a landmark, we might use something to remind us as a landmark, but what would be the purpose of actually having the landmark? Why would we need to put a landmark down?
To remember where you stopped at or left off.
Kind of remember where you stopped at and left off, right? Specifically though, to remember what you own, right? To remember what's yours. We got a whole lot of land, and all this land belonged to Judah and different families within Judah. So I might say, this area right here is my territory. So I'll put landmarks around so people know that once you cross this landmark, you're entering into my territory. So think of it like a yard, right? The yards, usually when they build houses with gates or fences around them to divide. Those are landmarks to divide the different yards or the different properties, right? So you kind of look at that as landmarks, a little area that kind of go between. Sometimes you have 2 yards that go together, like up my yard and my neighbor's yards. On each side, our yards just kind of flow together, just rocks, and it just flow into their yard. Well, there are sometimes landmarks, right? When we first moved in, there were little flags that they put in there just to let us know this is actually where your land starts. And they use those as landmarks. Now, we since pulled those up because we don't need those landmarks, right? But that's what it is. The book is saying, don't you mess with nobody's land. If somebody put a landmark out there, you let them pull it up. You don't go up there and be like, oh, that's nice, let me take it. Or I don't like that there, let me move it, right? That's against our law, right? You let a man landmark, you stay where it is. Let's see, keep going.
One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established.
Right? So if one person saw somebody do something that they wasn't supposed to do and they tell it, that's all right, that ain't enough for a judge to take it. It got to be at least 2 people that see it and witness it that could come, and then based off of that, now we got a case. Now we can talk about it, right? But if it's only one person, you know what I'm saying? No, we got to, you know what I'm saying? I got to have more people talk about it for me to deal with it. Let's see, keep going.
If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you. And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And your eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
Right? So think of it this way. You got to have 2 witnesses to establish a matter, right? So let's say 2 people say, you know what? I saw YAHUAH kill a man. What happens if somebody kills somebody according to our law? That's according to U.S. law. What happens according to the law of the Most High God if somebody kills somebody? 2 people got to say it. And what else? What's going to happen when 2 people say it? And then what's going to happen to the person that killed somebody?
They're gonna get years in jail.
They're going to get killed, right? That person would be stoned to death. That means you take big old rock, launch them, and you do it until they die, right? That was the punishment that the Most High God set up for us if we were to kill somebody, right?
That probably lasts forever.
So now, YAHUAH was accused of killing somebody. 2 people said it. Uncle T is the judge. 2 people bring it to Uncle T and they say, Uncle T, we saw YAHUAH kill a man. And he meant to do it. He was mad at him and he killed a man, right? But then Mel and Andre come up and they like, what? YAHUAH didn't kill nobody? It was somebody else that killed him. We didn't get his face, but he ran. You know what I'm saying? Zahar was with us the whole time. Now, you got 2 witnesses saying Zahar killed somebody and 2 witnesses saying that Zahar didn't kill somebody. Now the judge has to hear everybody. Everybody got to stand in front of Yahuwah. And the judge got to look at this, and the judge got to hear the story. Okay, what did you see, Zahar?
I'm calling the priest. Like,
Okay,
you got that Urim on that?
what did you 2 see? Okay, what did you 2 see? And then you might ask questions, and you might figure things out to figure out who's more trustworthy in this situation, right? After that, the judge makes a decision of who's telling the truth, right? Whoever is decided to be the person who's lying, guess what their punishment is? So Zahar, if Zahar is convicted of killing somebody, he dies because of stones. But if it's found out that somebody is lying on Zahar, guess what happens to them? They get killed with stones because that's what they wanted to happen to Zahar. And so what the Most High God is saying is, if you deal with it that way, you ain't gonna have people that's gonna take the risk of lying on somebody. Yeah. If I know that if I tell this lie, that I'm gonna get the same punishment that I want that person to get, I don't want that. So now he's saying if the punishment was to lose an eye, then that person who was accusing them, they gonna lose an eye.
All of them Emmett Till situations,
all them things, that thing would have been out of there.
They would have shut their mouth.
That thing would have been out of there.
Yeah.
A lot of this, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this, you know what I'm saying? You'll weed out a lot of this Me Too movement to the stuff too.
Yeah, buddy.
Right? You'll weed out. You'll be able to focus on the real ones as opposed to all this other stuff that people just doing it to get back at people. You know what I'm saying? Doing it, you know what I'm saying? Doing it as a way to kind of take control of a, you know what I'm saying, out of a power situation. You know what I'm saying? Some of these women that do it just to, you know what I'm saying, get more notoriety, get power, do it because, you know what I'm saying, somebody that made them mad, you know what I'm saying, all that type of stuff. Now, some of them legit now, don't get me wrong. Some of them is legit, but it gets messy, it gets mixed. And it's just because people don't have the fear that, you know what I'm saying, well, even if I get caught lying about this, ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
Right.
Right? Let's see, keep going.
When you go out to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots and people more than you, be not afraid of them, for the Lord your God is with thee, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when you are come near unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, you approach this day unto battle against your enemies.
Watch this.
Let not your hearts faint.
He said, look, when it's time to go to war, priest gonna come up to you. Priest gonna come up to you and he gonna say, Hear, O Israel. Right? It's about time to go to war. Don't let your heart faint. What does it mean when your heart faint?
Scared.
Don't your butt be scary. You gotta stand up. What you gonna do? It's about 103 of us. You look across the way, and it's about 2,000 on the other side. What y'all gonna do? Your heart fainted, didn't it? That was the priest trying to tell you. Priest trying to tell you, look, boy, don't let your darn heart faint. Don't be scared. That's what he tell you. Don't be scary. He tell you, man, look, we got this. Don't be scary. So now the priest is there to encourage us and to make us feel like, you know what, we can handle this. Watch this.
Fear not,
Uh-huh.
and do not tremble.
Uh-huh.
Neither be ye terrified because of them.
Uh-huh.
For the Lord your God is he that goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you.
So why shouldn't we be scary? He said, man, listen, the Most High God going with you and he gonna fight with you. These people ain't got that. To this day, listen to me. Till this day, these people don't have that. They don't have somebody that'll fight with them. When they do it, they just getting it just because it's for them to get. Most High God will fight for us if we obey him and we put ourselves in a position where he wants us to win. Right? He will fight for us. These people ain't got that stuff. Watch this. Keep going.
For the Lord your God is he that goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. Mm-hmm. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that has built a new house?
Look, listen what he said. This is what the officer's gonna say. The officers, after the priest tell you, hey boy, don't be scary. It's time to fight, right? After that, the officer's gonna come by. You got to understand what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? The officer going to come by and the officer going to be like, yo, anybody build a house recently? Watch this.
What man is there that has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in battle and another man dedicate it.
Yeah, he looking like, look, man, you just bought you a house? I want you to go home. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just go ahead, make sure your house ready. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got a chance. You ain't even had a chance to decorate yet. Right? You know what I'm saying? Go back home, go ahead and decorate. It'll make sense for you to go jump in the war. Your mind is still on your new house. What else?
Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in battle and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that has planted a vineyard and has not yet eaten of it?
You just set up your vineyard. You just put your field together. Okay, I'll tell you what. At least go eat from your vineyard before you come out here and you try to go to war. You mess around, die, somebody else eat it. Watch this.
Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle and another man eat of it. And what man is there that has betrothed the wife and has not taken her?
You just got married. Well, that don't make sense that you out here. Listen, you might as well go home to your wife. Right? Watch this.
Let him go home and return unto his house, lest he die in battle and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brother's heart faint as well as his heart.
Right? He said, look, if your butt's scary, gone. Mess around and your brother gonna be standing next to you and his heart gonna faint. It's important that we keep this scripture in mind, because later on we gonna have a time that we go into war. And this is gonna be a war that the Most High God is telling us, don't fight. And now the people are gonna be like, yo, prophet, why is you telling us not to fight? You making the people scary. Because it's in our law that if your butt's scared, don't make your brother scared. The difference is the prophet that we talking about right now, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't scared to fight. He just following the Most High God and told him we wasn't supposed to be fighting that war. Right? So just keep this in mind, because when we get there, it'll make sense why the people reacted the way they did. Right? Keep going.
And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. And when you come near unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee.
So understand what that means. If we go to a land, if we just happen to go to a land and it's time for us to take it over, the only option is for them to say, hell, this is peace. If they say that, then everybody who live in that land can now be subject to us. In other words, we can rule over them. We can charge them. You know what I'm saying? We can do whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? We can take whatever we need. We can run their society. We can take over what they got, right? That don't mean that we make them slaves. That don't mean that we beat them and kill them. That don't mean we mistreat people. All that mean is you become part of our society and we make the rules in your society now. And you probably got to pay us some taxes, right? Keep going. That's if they make peace. What if they don't make peace?
And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then you shall besiege it. And when the Lord thy God has delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword.
Right? So now if they don't make peace, all the males got to die. Keep going.
But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shall you take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God has given thee. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which the Lord your God does give thee for an inheritance. You shall save alive nothing that breathes, but you shall utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, as the Lord thy God has commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after their abominations, which they have done unto their gods, so should ye sin against the Lord your God.
Right? So we can offer peace and take over nations that were far away. We couldn't offer peace or take over the nations that we're going over to judge. Right? The Most High God is putting us in position to judge these nations. He's telling us don't make no compromises with them. That don't apply to them. What I just told you don't apply to them. That only applies to the ones that's far away. Right? Keep going.
When you shall besiege your city a long time and make a war against it to take it, you shall not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for you may eat of them, and thou shalt not cut down, for the tree of the field is a man's life, to employ them in the siege. Only the trees which thou know that may be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that makes war with thee until it be subdued.
Right? So this is another example of the law being carnal. He's telling us, listen, when it's time to go to war and you got to chop down some trees to feed into your war supplies, like sometimes you need trees to kind of build, you know what I'm saying? You ever seen like a police show where they got them little things, you know what I'm saying? They got the big old metal thing and they hold it like this and they slam it up against the door, you know what I'm saying? And then it cracked the door all the way open. That's what we used to have, right? And sometimes you would have to chop down a tree and get you a big old heavy log and a whole bunch of people to crack open a big old gate to a kingdom. We have to ram this big old log into the thing and we have to run into it a bunch of times, and that's called besieging. We'd be besieging the place, right? So you have to chop down the tree to do it. Our law is telling us, because it's talking about the carnal, the physical body and taking care of the physical body, he's saying it don't make no sense to chop down a darn apple tree because you can eat from an apple tree, right? Instead, why don't you, you know what I'm saying, chop down the tree with the pine cones on it? You can't eat no darn pine cone. Right? What's coming off of this tree I can't eat? Chop that one down. What's coming off of this tree I can eat? Don't chop it down. Because it makes sense for the physical body to have something to eat, right? If I'm gonna take over the land, do it make sense for me to chop down every beautiful tree? All the tree that's good for eating, chop them all down. Then after I take over the land, there ain't no more good trees to eat from, right? If y'all got a whole bunch of good trees, let me chop down the other ones that's not good trees, the ones that's not good for eating. You know what I'm saying? I chop them things down. And now when I get done with this war, I still got a bunch of trees. Right? Keep going. It's 20?
21.
21. We already 21. Goodness, great. We're making some moves, huh? Making some darn moves. It's Deuteronomy chapter 21. Watch what the book say.
If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God gives thee to possess, lying in the field, and it be not known who has slain him, then your elders and your judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take a heifer, which has not been wrought with, and which has not drawn in the yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer unto a rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for them the Lord thy God has chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And all the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto the people of Israel's charge. And the blood shall be forgiven them.
Right?
So shall thy put away guilt of innocent blood from among you, when you shall do that which is right in the sight of the Lord.
Right? So that's what happens if somebody just find a dead body. You find a dead body somewhere, you got to find the city that was closest to. If it's outside of the city, you got to find the city that was closest to, and then the elders of that city got to perform that ritual to make sure that the Most High God is clear in terms of, you know what I'm saying, them not having blood on their hands. All right, keep going.
When thou go forth to war against thy enemies, and the Lord thy God has delivered them into your hands, and you have taken them captive, and see among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that you would have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if you have no delight in her, then you shall let her go wherever she will. But you shall not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make a merchandise of her, because you have humbled her.
Keep going.
If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be when he makes his sons to inherit that which he has, that he may not take the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated.
Why is this law in place?
Rachel and Leah.
All right? Remember, Jacob had how many wives? Jacob had how many wives? He had 2, right? And those 2 wives kind of strove against one another, right? Who was Jacob's favorite kid? Joseph. Which wife did he come from?
Beloved.
He was the firstborn of the wife that he loved. But who was Jacob's actual firstborn son that was supposed to get his inheritance?
Reuben.
Reuben was, right? Reuben didn't get the same level of love because Reuben came from the first wife whom the man hated because he never wanted her. He didn't really hate her in that sense, but it's using hate right now in the sense of comparison, right? I love her more, so it's saying love versus hate. But he didn't really hate her in that sense. That wasn't the wife that he wanted. He got tricked into marrying that wife, right? So and then in marrying that wife, he said, you know what? Let me work another 7 years so I can get the wife I actually want. He got the wife he actually want. Now you put 14 years of work in for the wife that you actually wanted, right? So she's valuable. You know what I'm saying? This is the value this is the investment that you put in. She have her baby. That's the one I've been wanting this whole time. It took me a long time to get to the baby, but this the baby I've been wanting the whole time. Well, the Most High God is saying there's a law in place now. We're not doing that foolishness. Just because that's your favorite boy, don't change the rules. If the inheritance was supposed to go to your firstborn, then you give it to your firstborn, right? Don't just, you know what I'm saying, play favoritism based off of the wife that you love, right? Keep going. He gonna give you another law, too. Watch this.
But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him double portion of that, all that he has. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father.
Watch this.
Or the voice of his mother.
Zahar, are you paying attention? If a man have a stubborn or rebellious son that will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother. Watch what the book says.
That which, when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them.
And after you done whooped his darn butt, the boy still won't listen to you. Watch this.
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of the city and unto the gate of his place.
After that, mom and dad take the boy and bring him to the elders in the city. What's going to happen to the boy after that? Who can guess what's going to happen to him? He already got his whooping. He still ain't darn listening. What's going to happen to him? Almost. Watch this.
And they shall
You've been right twice about this. You good on this subject, huh?
And they shall say unto the elders of the city, this is our son, he is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice.
He will not obey our voice.
He is a glutton and a drunkard.
He is a glutton and a drunkard. Watch this.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shall you put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
That kid gets stoned, or that I don't want to say kid. That son gets stoned. Right? Now, what we're looking at there is actually a prophecy about YAHUAH. A lot of people don't realize it. That's a prophecy about YAHUAH, right? YAHUAH was given up by a nation that birthed him, his father and his mother, right? And presented to the Romans as a sacrifice. So that's why I said you was right when you said sacrifice him, because we're talking about YAHUAH. He was presented as a sacrifice. We'll talk a little bit more when we finally get to the Gospels. We'll come back to that. Keep going, watch this.
And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he is to be put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but you shall in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God.
Right? That talk about YAHUAH as well. Watch this.
That thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God gives thee for an inheritance.
It's 22?
Yeah.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 22. We're making some moves today.
Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or sheep go astray and hide thyself from them.
That's right.
You shall in any case bring them again unto your brother. And if your brother be not near unto thee, or if you know him not, then you shall bring it unto thine own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and you shall restore it to him again.
Right? So that's how we were as a people. It was our law. Even if I didn't know you, I see your ox. Man, I don't know. Ain't that so-and-so uncle? I don't really know him that much. You know where he live? I don't know where he live. I know he be walking with that ox, though. I ain't never talked to him. What's his name? I don't know. What you say his name? I'll tell you what. Go get the ox, go bring him in, put him in the backyard. Put him in the backyard, and when you see him, you know what I'm saying, then, you know what I'm saying, well, just let him know I got his ox. Right? Our law require, people might do that, right? You know what I'm saying? They just want to do that. No. That was a requirement of our law. If you didn't do that, you're in violation of the law. Right? That's not just like now, if somebody did that, that's just a kind gesture. That's a good deed. Right? No. That was a requirement of our law. Right? So it's a difference of the righteousness that we command in our book. Right? My dog, right? My dog got out today. Right? Mel was in the car. They called my wife, you know what I'm saying? And what they say? What my wife say on the phone?
She said one of your neighbors said that your dog had got loose and they called animal control.
Right? Somebody called animal control. Animal control out there, guess what they about to do with my dog?
Take her away.
They about to take her. Right? But then the neighbor that called my wife was like, whoa. That's your dog. So I told them that's your dog. I told them I'd give you a call. How soon can you get here? She said, get there about 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to tell them to hold on. I get to the house. I didn't get here in 30 minutes. I get to the house. Guess where my dog is?
Backyard.
In the backyard. She didn't talk to people. Look, just put it in the backyard, open the gate, close it up for them, put the lock on there. They put my lock on there, everything. Gave my dog some water because they took care of it. That is a kind gesture. Well, according to our law, that would be law for us. That wouldn't be a kind gesture. That's what you got to do. You ain't got no choice. Right? And guess what? What do you think the lady is? White? Mexican? What is she? Darn Hebrew. 100%. It's in us. It's in us. Right? Same thing. My Mexican neighbor right over here. You know what I'm saying? My Mexican neighbor right over here. He got this beautiful black dog. Beautiful little black dog. This little black dog, beautiful. Which one of y'all saw the dog that climbed the fence and jumped in the Cora's cage? It was a black dog, wasn't it? Beautiful, wasn't it? What it do is a little thing and just hop on top. It be hopping on top of the wall like a little cat. It hop on top of the wall and it'll pace around all the darn walls in the yard. So every so often, I see the dog out in the front yard. Zahar, when I see that dog in the front yard, what I do? And then what? That's right. I put the dog in my backyard. I couldn't get it. First thing I do is try to take it to him. Oh, he ain't home. What I'm gonna do? Well, you know what I'm saying? You on your own then, little guy. No, that don't make no sense. That's against our law. Nah, bring me the dog, put it in the backyard, give him something to eat, give him some water, make sure he's good. When he come back, no, the dog is safe and it's in my yard. Going back home. Right? That's our law, right? That's how we had to behave. This is what the law teaches. So when you get people, these Christians that get to talking to you about, oh man, I'm just so happy I don't live. That just show ignorance. You happy you don't live under this law? That show ignorance. You rather live under this foolishness we got now, huh? You prefer this, don't you?
Work till you dead.
That's because you lawless. That's why you prefer it. You prefer it because you lawless. They won't even let you feed homeless people out here.
Crazy.
Because you lawless. They put these people outside of their house. They raise the darn rents on these people. Because these folks are greedy and lawless. You rather live under this stuff. You rather live it because you ain't never seen nothing righteous in your life.
Food they throw away that they don't like serve in restaurants.
Yeah, they sit there and throw this food away. Our law never let us do no foolishness like that. These people are wicked. And you wicked if you prefer this stuff other than our law. You wicked if you prefer that stuff. It's a righteous law. Book told us if we operate in this law, that people will look at us and say, man, what nation is so righteous, so wise? Right? I mean, you unwise and you wicked if you prefer this foolishness over our law. Keep going. Watch this.
In the like manner shall you do with his donkey, and shall you do with his clothes, or with any lost thing of your brothers which he has lost, and you have found. Shall you do likewise? You may not hide yourself. You shall not see your brother's donkey or his ox fall down by the way, and
And let me
and
get some
hide thyself
clarification.
from them.
Let me get some clarification. I'll talk about the Mexican. Mexican, that wouldn't be law for him. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't be law because he ain't my brother. You know what I'm saying? He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't a brother of my people. You know what I'm saying? So technically, you know what I'm saying? It'd be perfectly lawful for me to keep his dog if I wanted to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Or just let his dog run away. You know what I'm saying? That thing wouldn't have nothing to do, you know what I'm saying, with anything. But the spirit of it is still true. You know what I'm saying? The most High God, he promotes decency in us. You know what I'm saying? He promotes the things that we look at as goodwill and good deeds. He promotes that in us, right? Keep going.
Thou shalt surely help him to lift them up again.
Uh-huh.
The woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man.
It don't make no sense for a woman to wear a man's clothes, right? Now, some people try to interpret this and be like, yeah, a woman ain't got no business wearing pants. That's foolish. That ain't what it's talking about. But it don't make sense for a woman to wear articles of clothes that's made for a man, right? It don't make sense for her. He said, go ahead.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So now, what does that get for us?
All this transgender nonsense.
Close.
That's right. You know what they gonna try to teach y'all at school? Huh?
Try to put it on.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they're gonna try to teach you. They're gonna try to teach you at school with, you know, gender is just a social construct. And if you feel like a girl, you can be a girl even if you're not a girl. And if you feel like a boy, you can be a boy even though you're not a boy, right? They're gonna try to teach y'all as y'all go to school, they're gonna try to make sure these things is okay. And you're gonna start seeing, y'all might already see, especially y'all that's in middle school, y'all gonna already see kids that are boys, right? But they dress and behave like girls typically dress and behave. And girls that dress and behave like boys typically dress and behave. And the reason for that is because people are rebellious to laws like these. But our law gives us strict order, right? That stuff is confusion. So our law gives us order. No. A man should dress like a man. A woman should dress like a woman, right? Keep going.
For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
He said some of them that do it is an abomination.
All that do so
It's an abomination to you.
are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
He said all that do it is an abomination. It's very different from what we read in the law. I mean, when we read about the food that we can eat, right? Keep going.
If a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way in thy tree or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young.
Mm-hmm.
But thou shalt in any wise let the dam go and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee and that you may prolong your days.
So what if I want to eat some eggs? I mean, I got me a nice chicken right in front of me. And that thing laying eggs. And guess what I want tonight? Steak and eggs. No, that don't make sense. I want chicken and eggs. Right? I want some fried chicken and eggs. I ain't never heard of that, but I want some, you know what I want? Chicken and waffles with some eggs on the side. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I want. And there's a good chicken in front of me. What animal waffle come from? There's some good chicken in front of me, right? And that chicken just laid 2 eggs. And guess how many eggs I want? 2, sunny side up. You know what I'm talking about? The law would say, you can't take that chicken, pluck that chicken that just laid those 2 eggs, put him in the frying pan, and then also take the eggs that chicken just laid and put them in the frying pan. That's against our law, right? He said what you need to do is, you take the eggs and you let the chicken go. And you can go find you some other chicken if you want to, but that particular chicken you gotta let go. Cause you can't take the babies of that chicken and the chicken and expect everything gonna be cool. That's out of line, right? So you have to choose one versus the other. Huh? That's okay, right? Keep going.
When you build a new house, then you shall make a battlement for thy roof, that thou bring not blood upon thine house, if any man fall from there. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with
Look what he
diverse
said.
seeds.
Look, he said, look, you got to set it up where your house is safe, Right? He said, look, man, you got to make it so that your house is safe. That way, if somebody go up there, they mess around, they don't fall. This is the type of stuff that's in our law to make sure that we're caring about other people. Right? Keep going.
Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds. Let the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown in the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. Lest the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled.
Right? So what he's saying is, when you got a field, it don't make no sense to be like, oh, I got strawberry seed and I got wheat seeds. Yeah. And just throw them all out there together. Right? That's why when you go to the farm, first of all, it don't make sense to do that. Your stuff is not going to grow right. Right? The Most High God is trying to let you know, don't waste your time doing that. Be careful, boy. Don't touch none of these cords. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't waste your time doing that, right? Who was that? So you gotta sow the field. So that's why if you go to these big old farms, you're gonna have whole areas of wheat, whole areas of corn, whole areas of, watermelon, whole area, and it's gonna be a whole area, and it's all gonna be by itself, and it's gonna be all separated into different areas, right? That's what we have to do, and that's what the law calls for. He said, don't mix up your seed. Your stuff gonna be defiled. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna mix it up, and it's gonna be defiled because everything gonna be growing on top of each other, mixing together. You're like, nah, you don't want no stuff like that. Keep going.
Thou shalt not sow thy, Thou shalt not plow with an ox and the donkey together. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Mm-hmm. Let me check you out, boy. What happened?
He got a whole dent in it.
Let me see. What happened?
Go. He jumped off the bed and hit the couch.
Oh, that's a real one right there.
Go show your uncle your head.
Oh, it's Michael? Oh, goodness gracious. I think it might be some brain damage. Can you count to 3? Let me see.
That boy went rock star.
Well, you just counted to 6. That wasn't 3. Count to 3 again. This time you counted to 10. Do you not hear yourself? I'm just messing with you, boy. Go get some ice. Let's keep it going.
Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and
Y'all gotta
linen
sit y'all
together.
butts down. Stop playing so much. It's all right to play, but it's important. You gotta be able to restrict yourself. I didn't ask who wasn't doing nothing. I'm talking to all y'all. Y'all have to be able to restrict yourself. At some point, you gotta be like, I feel like this is going too far. I'm getting too crazy. Let me calm myself down. Otherwise, things get out of control, and then this happens. Somebody get hurt. And you gotta help restrict each other. You gotta tell each other, calm down. Remember last time y'all were playing, everybody started fighting, and y'all came near and y'all told me, like, oh, well, nah. After it started getting wild in there, we told the kids to calm down. Everybody started relaxing. Y'all try to protect each other, try to keep each other from getting in trouble, try to keep each other from getting hurt. That's the main objective for y'all. Y'all brothers, y'all sisters. All right? Keep going.
Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Right? You can't have something that's made of wool and is linen and you mix it together. Right? That's against our law. We wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? The Most High God wouldn't have nothing like that for us. Keep going.
Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the 4 quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou cover thyself.
Uh-huh.
If any man take a wife...
He said fringes, right? At the bottom of the clothes that we have, you know what I'm saying, around the borders of our clothes, he said that you would make fringes of it, right? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? You make little fringes. I got some shirts that got it on the bottom of it, right? You have some fringes at the bottom. Keep going. Watch this.
If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her,
Watch this.
and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Mm-hmm. Then shall...
In other words, he said, I found her not a virgin, right? So he's saying, man, I took this woman, I thought I would get me a virgin. It turns out she had been with somebody else and she lied, right? Watch this, keep going.
Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city of the gate.
Right? So then the father of the damsel or the mother would bring forth the proof that she was a virgin, and they'd bring it to the gate. Watch this.
And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hates her.
Uh-huh.
And look, he has given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid.
Right? So he said, look, this man didn't lie. Here's the proof that she's a virgin. This man didn't lie on my daughter, ruining her good name. Watch this.
And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him.
What do you think gonna happen to the man?
Get his butt
Max?
whooped.
What do you think gonna happen to the man? He lied on his wife. Huh? You think he gonna get stoned? You ain't gonna get this one right. Watch this. A lot of women gonna look at this and be like, that ain't fair. Had it been a woman, she'd have been stoned. Right? I'm gonna explain. Watch this.
And take that man and chastise him. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he has brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days.
Right? So now his punishment is not that he die, because if he died, what that do for the woman?
Set her free.
She lost her virginity to this man.
Her name is ruined. And
Her name is ruined, and now she ain't got no man to take care of her.
Yeah.
She gotta, her dad died. She gotta try to find another man that'll take a woman that lost her virginity, right? And in our culture, that wasn't really acceptable. You know what I'm saying? You got, that was something that you had to, you lose your virginity. That thing is just like, I don't know if I want to mess with her. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted a virgin. So she looking like, oh, you done took my glory away from me. You humbled me. You know what I'm saying? Now what I'm gonna do? Right? So instead, the Most High God set it up where, one, you didn't want her, now you're gonna take care of her for the rest of your darn life. Right? And we gonna beat your darn butt. But the book says you gotta chastise him. That means they beat him up. Right? So you gotta beat him up first. Then after you beat him up, you immerse him in a bunch of silver. So you take his money and you bury him in his own money. Right? And then you get that money to the father.
TJ, stop messing with her head.
Right? You get that money to the father. After he get beat up, he got to get it butt up, go work, take care of your wife, and you're not allowed to put your wife away. You're not allowed to divorce your wife for the rest of your life. Keep going. Watch this. That's book. Most people don't look at that. That's righteous there. You know what I'm talking about? That's righteous. You got a person taken care of. You know what I'm saying? You got a happy situation. They don't care if she don't want to be there. You still got to take care of her. What you going to do? Sit your butt down somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Keep going. That's these unrighteous people that be telling these lies on each other and all that, and they can get up out of it. They can just divorce for any old reason. Keep going.
But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she has wrought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. So shall you put evil away from among you. If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall you put away evil from Israel.
Right? So you had to have two witnesses. You catch these folks, they lying together, they married, one of them married, that got that. How many of them died?
Both.
You bring them both books there. You take both of them, caught them right in the act, bring it there, stone they both butt. Stone they butt both. Right? That's book. Keep going, watch this.
If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city, and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out of the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he has humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
Right.
But unto the damsel thou shalt not do nothing.
Right? So if somebody who's engaged, they not married yet, but they engaged to be married, and she mess around and she cheat on her husband, right? They both gotta die. Right? However, if a man try to rape a woman, right, and she betrothed to her husband, she's engaged to her husband, then only the man dies in that situation. All right, keep going.
There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death, for as when a man rises against his neighbor and slays him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field and the betrothed damsel, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold of her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt.
Right? So if a man lay with a woman that's a virgin, then he had to marry her. And he had to get her money to her father. All right? Keep going.
Can't divorce her. That's it.
And you can't divorce. What's the next chapter?
23.
All right. We can stop there then. 23. Start off 23 for me. How's 23 start?
He that is wounded in the stone.
Oh, yeah. 23 gonna tell us about who defiled in the congregation, in the tabernacle, and you know what I'm saying, how long they gotta stay away. So that's good stuff. So we'll stop here. You know what I'm saying? Any questions?
No. Clear.
All right, well, let's pray.